Pat McCormack falls to 12th round KO against Conah Walker in Monte Carlo thriller. Pat McCormack lost to Conah Walker via 12th round KO in Monte Carlo on December 6, 2025. Walker's British welterweight title was not at stake, but the win boosts his reputation. McCormack started strong but faded under Walker's pressure in the later rounds. Walker credited his mental strength and family motivation for the victory. Conah Walker vs. Pat McCormack, a night of high stakes in Monte Carlo. December 6, 2025, Salle des Étoiles, Monte Carlo. The air was thick with anticipation as Pat McCormack, the Olympic silver medalist turned professional hopeful, stepped into the ring against British welterweight champion Conah Walker. While Walker's title wasn't on the line, due to British Boxing Board of Control regulations, the fight still carried enormous weight for both men's careers. McCormack, known for his slick boxing and tactical prowess, began the contest on the front foot. He danced around the ring, making use of sharp jabs and quick movement. Observers at ringside and fans watching live on DAZN saw McCormack arguably take the first 3 rounds, controlling the pace and landing clean shots off his back foot. But the stakes were mounting. For McCormack, who has struggled with the stop-start rhythm of a career following his Olympic success, this bout was more than just another fight. It was a chance to reassert his place among Britain's elite welterweights. Walker's pressure. The middle rounds heat up. The narrative shifted as the fight entered the mid-rounds. Walker, a determined and gritty pressure fighter, began to close the distance. By the 6th, he was moving forward behind a high guard, absorbing McCormack's counters and landing lefts and rights of his own. The exchanges grew fiercer, the crowd responding to every punch. McCormack, showing flashes of brilliance, fired back with 1-2s and uppercuts when his energy allowed. Yet, fatigue was becoming visible. Walker's relentless style was starting to pay off, chipping away at McCormack's defenses. Momentum shifts, McCormack's resilience and Walker's determination. Just as Walker appeared to be taking control, McCormack found a second wind in the 8th round. He moved more freely, landing hard right uppercuts and regaining the initiative. The 9th round was arguably McCormack's best since the opening frames, with crisp combinations and clever movement keeping Walker honest. Yet, as the rounds wore on, Walker's persistence became the defining theme. He refused to yield, his mind set on victory, a resolve he later attributed to his growing family and the desire to change his life for the better. Boxing is 90% in the mind, Walker reflected post-fight. You can be as fit as you want, but if you haven't got the mind right, I'm very determined. I believe I can win a world title. The goalposts have moved. Ring Magazine. Final act. The dramatic knockout. The 12th and final round brought the drama to a crescendo. Both fighters, weary but unbowed, traded leather in the center of the ring. Walker, sensing opportunity, increased the pressure. In a stunning moment that left the audience breathless, Walker landed a decisive combination that sent McCormack to the canvas, securing a 12th round knockout and, with it, serious bragging rights in one of the year's most talked-about domestic fights. For Walker, the victory was transformative, not just for his career, but for his family. I'm expecting my second baby. There was a massive carrot dangling there, and I've just changed that baby's life, he said, reflecting on the personal stakes that fueled his determination. What's next for Pat McCormack? For Pat McCormack, the defeat is a crossroads. The loss, though painful, is not the end. He showed flashes of world-class ability and resilience, particularly in the early and middle rounds. But questions remain about his ability to withstand sustained pressure and to find consistency as a professional. His career, marked by the highs of Olympic glory and the challenges of the pro circuit, now faces another period of reassessment. Boxing fans and analysts will be watching closely to see how McCormack responds. Will he recalibrate, learn from this setback, and mount a comeback? Or does this defeat mark the beginning of a new chapter, perhaps one that requires changes in training, strategy, or even mindset? British welterweight scene, shaken up. Walker's win also sends ripples through the British welterweight division. While his title was not at stake, the result solidifies his standing and raises his profile as a fighter capable of big performances on the international stage. The bout, broadcast live and discussed across major outlets like Boxing 247 and Ring Magazine, has become a reference point for domestic boxing in 2025, a reminder of how quickly fortunes can change in the ring. The British Boxing Board of Control's rules prevented Walker's belt from being at risk, but the outcome was no less significant. Had Walker lost, his title would have become vacant, opening the division to new contenders. Instead, he leaves Monte Carlo with both his reputation and his ambitions intact. A night to remember. The Salle des Étoiles in Monte Carlo has seen its share of memorable fights, but the Walker-McCormack showdown will linger in the minds of boxing fans. It was a contest of styles, McCormack's technical finesse versus Walker's relentless drive, and a story of personal transformation, where stakes extended beyond belts and rankings. For McCormack, the journey continues. For Walker, the future looks brighter than ever. As the dust settles, both men remain key figures in the evolving landscape of British boxing. Analysis. The outcome of Walker versus McCormack is a clear demonstration of how boxing, even at the elite level, is as much a mental challenge as a physical one. Walker's victory underscores the power of perseverance and psychological strength, while McCormack's defeat invites reflection on the need for resilience and adaptability